Here we go, last video of the entire course, and it is just going to be finishing what we started in the previous video with solving proportions, solving rational equations. The only difference with these is we are going to end up with quadratic equations after we cross multiply. So you'll see how this turns out as we go. So again, we're going to cross multiply. We're going to distribute the x. So we're going to get x squared minus 2x when I multiply here to here. And going the other way, I'm going to distribute the negative 3. I get negative 3x plus 12. When you have a quadratic, what I mean by that is you have at least one term that has an x squared. To solve these, you want to get everything on one side and set it equal to 0. You want it to be in standard form. So to do that, I'm going to add 3x. I always want to move everything to where the x squared is. And then I'm going to subtract 12. So I get x squared plus x minus 12 equals 0. And then you're going to be left with something that factors. I'm not going to give you one that you have to do a quadratic formula or you get really messy answers. It's going to be something that should factor pretty easily. So this is a basic FOIL factor. Need numbers that multiply to get negative 12 and add to get 1. It's going to be x plus 4 and x minus 3. So then I have to list my solutions because remember the goal is to solve. So my solutions for the first factor is negative 4, for the second factor is 3. And then I want to do a quick check to make sure if I put negative 4 here or here, if I put 3 here or here, make sure that I don't get 0 in the bottom. And I don't. A negative 4 minus 4 is actually negative 8. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So I'm not getting a 0 as a denominator value. And I do get 2 answers. So when you enter these on Delta Math, expect that there will be more than one answer and make sure you enter each of them. You're going to put one answer in, then you're going to hit the little plus sign and put another answer in. It doesn't matter which one you put in first. So the next one. So now when I multiply, this one's going to be a little more involved. I actually have to FOIL because when I multiply x plus 5 times x minus 6, it's more than just regular distributing. It's FOILing. So I'm going to do that first. So I get x squared first, outer, inner, last. And if you want to do this off to the side to save space, you can. I get x squared minus x minus 30. And then on the other side, when I multiply it through, I just get negative 2x. The other diagonal is much simpler. This negative 2x needs to be on the other side, so I'm going to add 2x. So I get x squared plus x minus 30. So that factors. I'm looking for numbers that multiply to get negative 30 and add to get 1. So that would be a positive 6 and a negative 5. So my two solutions are negative 6 and 5. And again, just check to make sure that if you put either of those values here, you don't get 0 in the denominator. The other thing you can do to check is you can actually put the entire negative 6 in this side and the entire negative 6 in this side and make sure the two sides are the same. That's another way to check the validity of your answer, not that it's extraneous, but just that you did the work right. So again, two solutions are commonplace with quadratics. Here's my last slide. So I've got a FOILing again here. So I have to do x minus 5 times x plus 4. This diagonal is much simpler, and I feel like that happens a lot in Delta Math is they'll make one side harder than the other. So when I FOIL, I get x squared plus 4x minus 5x minus 20 equals 7x. I'm going to combine like terms, so I get x squared minus x minus 20. And then I'm going to subtract the 7x to get it in standard form. So I get x squared minus 8x minus 20. This, again, will factor nicely. I do like the fact that the Delta Math ones will factor really nicely. I need numbers that multiply to get negative 20 and add to get negative 8. So that is negative 10 and positive 2, which means my two answers are positive 10 and negative 2. And again, double check that if you put those values in, you don't get a 0 in the bottom. And again, you can plug in the entire value into both sides, make sure the two sides are equal. Last one, a little easier, no FOILing, just distributing. So when I multiply the x through, I get x squared minus 7x. And when I multiply the 3 through, I get 3x plus 24. Bring everything over to one side. So I'm going to subtract 3x and subtract 24. So I get x squared minus 10x minus 24. So numbers that multiply to get negative 24 and add to get negative 10 would be negative 12 and positive 2. So my two solutions are positive 12 and negative 2. And again, we're good at putting them in the denominator. We can also plug a 12 in everywhere you see an x here. You can plug it everything you see here. Makes sure both sides are equal. So there's a lot of ways to check. If you do a couple on Delta Math, it'll show the full check, which is nice if you want to see that as well. And there you have it. You are done with Algebra 2. That's the last video of the year. Congratulations.